I want to welcome everybody to week 2 of Principles of Management. Moving kind of recapping of week 1. I know it's kind of been hectic, moving things around like the live lectures, etc. But that's kind of bound to happen as classes get shifted around or canceled or moved online or etc. And that kind of impacts where I can kind of fit in these live lectures. So I do need you to make sure that you are reviewing the calendar, due dates for everything. So I have moved the live lectures to Mondays from 6 to 7. That'll be Eastern time or 5 to 6 Central time. And that still kind of confuses me. I don't know why. It's just it's so difficult. Anyway, but they are recorded. So if you cannot attend those sessions, I try to make them a little bit later for people to kind of chime in either after work or right before work or etc. They are recorded, and I do send them out pretty much right after the live lecture, so you have the opportunity to still watch it for your attendance. But I do need you to send me all 5 correct answers for the poll questions that are going to be during the live lecture, as well as the quiz for attendance, and those are both due on the Friday, and that will still remain the same. Discussion questions, please kind of make note. Like week 1, you had 2 discussion posts. They need to be in by those due dates. Initial post in Wednesday. Your feedback post in Saturday. Those close and go away. You do not have the opportunity to access those again. So please adhere to those deadlines. We have a very short amount of time and we have to kind of keep moving forward. I think week 2, though, we only have 1. So just kind of make note that there will be some weeks where you have 2 discussion posts and then some you only have 1. And then, of course, for week 1, you did have those 2, and then you had the written assignment on total quality management, and that is due Sunday midnight. So moving into week 2, we'll be starting to discuss kind of that global environment, that external forces that kind of impact organizations, as well as internal structures and building ethical organizations. We highlighted on it briefly in the first lecture, but we're really kind of delving into it kind of this week with biodegradable products, and kind of how does that impact the external environment and our stakeholders, customers, everyone, suppliers, etc., employees, and then of course whistleblowers, which we will be discussing in the discussion post. So you'll be reading chapter 5, chapter 10, 11.2, and 11.3. There's going to be some overlap in some of these readings, so if you don't read them like all like this week, you may have some of them, I think in week 3 and 4, kind of overlap a little bit. So we kind of narrowed it down to sections. So yes, it sounds like a lot of reading, but this is a shorter 6-week course. So you do have a couple of activities that you can go through. Your written assignment, you actually have 2 this week and only 1 discussion post. So I don't know, apples and oranges in my opinion. You have a written assignment where you'll be going to the Better Business Bureau, and the other written assignment on biodegradable products, and then your discussion and quiz, and of course the live lecture. So looking at week 2 objectives for this week, we want to evaluate globalization through the world systems theory, identify major trends in globalizations that include the impact of recent economic and natural disasters that really have an impact on a lot of organizations. Recognize contemporary and future workplace issues, appreciate the different strategies of international corporations and how they can be used to expand into those markets. Understand the differences among ethics, morals, and values, as well as learning about ethical issues and behaviors, and recognizing the various unethical behaviors that we have to deal with as managers in an organization. Recognize that ethical dilemmas that everyone faces almost pretty much in their lifespan, and understand the nature of corporate and social responsibility. So the written assignment number 1 for this week is the Better Business Bureau. And you're basically going to go to the BBB and look at the code of business practices that are on the website, look at advertising, selling, customer service practices, and how really to enhance consumer trust. So you want to look at the Better Business Bureau standards for trust, the 8 principles that summarize the important elements of creating and maintaining trust in business. So you'll just want to click on the link and go directly to the website and review that area. From there, you're going to discuss those 8 principles, and then you're going to pick a business. So you want to research a business, and I believe there's a list on the website as well. That basically would like to develop or indicate how would they apply those 3 main, I don't know, principles that you outlined. Out of those, you'll pick, out of the 8, you'll pick 3, and kind of outline, the ones that you like the best, or the ones that struck you the most, and kind of how they kind of fit into the company that you're researching, as far as how they met their standards for the BBB. And it sounds funny to say sometimes, BBB accreditation. The paper should be about 1 to 2 pages. And then, of course, meeting the APA standards, correct spelling, grammar, punctuation, etc. So kind of a somewhat easy kind of breakdown. So describe the 8. Here's the rubrics to describe those 8 principles. So you want to make sure you describe all 8. That's 30 points. Applies those 3 principles to a company, pick the ones that you've chosen, and then of course discuss the 3 other BB services available to consumers in business, and that's just, again, further research on the site. Sticking to APA formatting, correct spelling, punctuation, grammar, mechanics. All of that should get you 100%. So moving into your second written assignment is on biodegradable products. And basically you're going to answer this question: should all firms use biodegradable packaging? Would your answer be the same if you knew that using such packaging added 25% to the price of the product? Explain your position, incorporating resources from the library and the internet. So please make sure you are using those library resources, very important. Your final paper should be 1 to 2 pages, APA's format. I think I have it actually in here twice. That's how important APA format is. So this one should be pretty clear-cut, easy researched assignment on basically biodegradable products, and whether or not you would still consider using them if there was a higher price point. The rubrics accordingly: discuss the firms that used biodegradable packaging and why. Discuss if your answer would change, if the price would go up, and then of course APA formatting, spelling, grammar, and that would get you to that 100%. Your discussion post for this week is on whistleblowers. So again, you're going to research individuals who reported their employers' illegal or unethical behaviors, and kind of answer the following questions. I did put up a link that kind of hit the media, I think about 2 months ago, on whistleblowers. It was an artist that actually kind of sculpted 3 different people that were whistleblowers, and so you might want to kind of use that as a platform to research one or all of them a little bit further. But what effects have these laws protecting whistleblowers had on the business environment? Did the companies change their policies? Yes. If so, or no? If so, what effects have the policies had on the company stakeholders? And then what effect did reporting those problems have on the whistleblower themselves? So again, initial post Wednesday and your feedback post on Saturday. A note too, I was lenient the first week. Please make sure that you are using the students' names in those discussion posts. You will start getting deducted points for that. It's professional and polite, so we got to do that. Your quiz, again, 1 attempt. This is due again on Friday. There's 10 questions. It is timed. And those are due the same night as your live lecture attendance. Again, the recording, if you can attend it, and if you do attend live, I do take attendance, so you don't have to send me those 5 poll questions, although you will want to write them down or make note of them for the quiz. But if you attend a live lecture, you don't have to worry about that. I make sure I get you and you're good. But if you can't and you watch the recording, then you do have to send me all 5 correct answers by the deadline, which is that Friday, midnight. So I hope you guys enjoy watching these announcements as I do kind of go over and pick through these assignments so you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Hopefully this limits the amount of questions. But all means, if you do have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, which is obviously the best way. I am on the Ocala campus. I am here in Tampa, Florida, so there is a time difference if you need to get a hold of me. I am not a night owl. I sleep at night. I'm up early, so I try to get back to your emails as quickly as I can. If we need to set up an additional time, either through the Adobe Room or via a phone call. But don't forget about the wall. You can always post your questions there. Other students can chime in, etc. if they might have already know the answers or have already asked me maybe that question. So don't forget about that course wall. Feel free to post anything that you'd like in that wall. So hope everybody has a great second week, and I will see you guys Monday.